Alright, hello everybody, and this is going to be my second ever stream, thank you very much. We are looking at the new Knights of the Frozen Throne expansion for Hearthstone. This is probably going to be my most hyped expansion that I've ever wanted to discuss, because this is the theme set in Northrend, and is actually one of my favorite areas to explore in the World of Warcraft universe. It was also the area of the game where I became the most active in World of Warcraft, and it has some of the best memories that I've had ever playing. So the first thing I want to do is discuss some of the new content. The one thing that sticks out about this expansion is that your heroes die. So all 9 of your classes are going to have a brand new type of card called a hero card. And I'm actually going to show the first one now for Hunter that they revealed on the stream last night, and it is Deathstalker Rexxar. Now, what this card does is it's basically a skin for your hero. And the skin costs 6 mana, and it replaces your hero with a new one that has a new hero power. And as you can see, this card here, it has no attack value by itself. It's treated as like a minion, but it does replace your hero much like Jiraxxus for Warlock does. So what happens is that you pay 6 mana for the card, your hero skin gets replaced with this new skin, the effect activates on the card. In this case, Battlecry deals 2 damage to all enemy minions, and then you see an armor value of 5, so you actually gain 5 armor when you play it. And then after that, you get a new hero power. First, I want to talk about the implications of this card first, and then I will talk about the hero power coming up in just a second. So, Deathstalker Rexxar is a 6 mana, gain 5 armor, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. So it's pretty much the same as a Blizzard effect for Hunter, which is strange because you don't usually get to see this type of effect in Hunter specifically as a battle cry. It does kind of give away to more of a control to mid-range type of Hunter, which is really good because so far what we've been seeing is a bunch of minion combat and going face all the time. So getting a new type of card that would emphasize a new way to play Hunter would be really cool, but it's very hard to pull off because the identity of Hunter for so long has always been just go face, hit a minion with your weapon, go face, summon a big beast, go face. That's how Hunters win, and that's how Hunter has been played in Hearthstone historically ever since its inception. So it is going to be interesting to see how this new interaction is going to work out. And we've yet to see any other cards revealed for the Hunter class, so there's possibility that there could be new tools to come about to play with this kind of mid-range to control Hunter idea, and maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't, maybe it's not good enough, maybe Hunter's just not going to see much play. 6 mana is a lot to spend for a card that gains value in the late game, which I will talk about in a second with the hero power. So it does contest with Savannah Highmane as a slot in the deck, and Savannah Highmane's already a very big powerhouse when it comes to pushing board presence, tempo, pressuring your opponent, which is what Hunter does best. So it is going to try to change things up a little bit. Maybe this gets put in the same deck as Savannah Highmane. Maybe this gets put in a different kind of deck of Hunter. We'll just have to wait and see what is in store. So now I'm going to talk about the hero power that you gain. It actually replaces your old hero power, and it becomes Build a Beast, which is 2 mana, like every other hero power in the game, and it says craft a custom Zombeast. Now, they elaborated on as to what this is. You basically pick 2 beasts out of, you get a choice of 3, and then you pick one of those, and you get a choice of another 3 beasts, different beasts, and you get to pick one of those. Both of those beasts you just selected combine together into one card, one beast called a Zombeast, and it has the combined stats, cost, and effects of both of the beasts that you just chose out of your selection. So this has some really strong implications. It is kind of reminiscent of the Jiraxxus Hero Power, uh, since it does kind of scream out for that minion value, but it also is a better Warlock Hero Power in the case that you basically draw a better minion than the average minions in your deck. So the example that I know that Trump posted a video recently about discussing the implications of this card is that you can discover Stone Tusk Boar, which just has charge, 1 mana 1/1, and you can discover Vicious Fledgling, which is a 3 mana 3/3 that can adapt every time it attacks your hero. So when you combine those two together, it's a 4 mana 4/4 charge, adapts every time it attacks your opponent's hero, and that's absolutely insane. So having this kind of power in a late game hunter deck just seems really cool to me, and I can't wait to see what kind of concoctions people will make whenever they play this card. So now we're going to talk about the other cards that were revealed on the stream last night. That was July 6th in America. And first one that came up with is Shallow Gravedigger. It's a 3 mana 3/1 Death Rattle, add a random Death Rattle minion to your hand. So in Knights of the Frozen Throne, the other kind of theme in the deck, if you haven't played much of World of Warcraft expansion, the Northrend was the Death Knight expansion. So we probably were going to see a resurgence of a bunch of Death Rattle interacting minions. As thrilled as I am about that, because a lot of the other Death Rattle minions have come out previously have been very, very annoying to deal with. This one doesn't really seem to fit that bill. It's actually kind of weak. 3 mana 3/1, it's very poor stats for a 3-drop. It does nothing the turn that it's played, so you basically have to wait another turn unless you destroy it yourself with a ping or something. And the payoff is another random Death Rattle minion, which has such a wide scope. You have everything from the 1 mana 1/1 for Priest that gets a card from your opponent's deck, and you have all the way up to something as insane as in Wild Majordomo Executus. So this card has a very wide range of cards that it can pick up. It's very reminiscent of the Stonehill Defender that we see in the current meta of Ungoro. And it looks like this minion isn't going to quite be on the same power level, since what's going to happen is you're comparing a Battlecry and a Death Rattle. Okay, it's not really fair to compare the two. You are kind of giving more credit to the Battlecries in that it's an immediate effect. A lot of classes synergize better with Taunt minions than they do with Death Rattle minions. This is another way to get Tirion Fordring in Paladin, since I think it's probably the only Death Rattle minion in Paladin, in the Paladin class. Unless I'm missing one somewhere, but I'm fairly certain that's probably the best one to get, is you're just going to randomly get Tirion. Well, anybody can get Tirion. Since you can put this in any deck, it gets you a random Death Rattle instead of discovering one. But you can also get cards like Savannah Highmane. You could also get cards like the 1/1 that summons a 5/5 when it dies, which hasn't really been too successful in the past. You could also get anything as like Leper Gnome, even. So, but it doesn't come out to the field, it comes into your hand, so you have to play the card that you get, which is, as a Death Rattle minion, it's going to be slow, unless it's got a big effect like Taunt. It's just kind of, yeah, we'll see. I don't really think it's going to see that much constructed play, to be honest. I think it's a little too slow. But you might have some kind of shenanigan-y deck come out of this with Spirit Caller Umbra, or any deck that synergizes with Death Rattles and N'Zoth, which, by the way, N'Zoth's probably going to be a thing in the next expansion. We'll see. The next card I want to show is actually a Paladin class card they revealed called Chillblade Champion. A 4 mana 3/2 charge. That's really bad. But if you look at the effect, there's a new keyword on this card called Lifesteal. And they elaborated that this is going to be a new keyword that they're implementing into the game. That when a card deals damage, it'll restore health to your hero. Now, there are a few cards in the game that have this effect already. Mistress of Pain in Warlock in the Wild format does have this effect as well. As I'm drawing a blank here. It's the 3-mana 2/2 Divine Shield Taunt minion in Paladin. And it does the same thing. Whenever it does damage, it heals your hero for the same amount. So that effect is now getting its own keyword in Lifesteal. Now, we talk about this effect in other cards like the Paladin minion. For some reason, I just cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of it. But when we put that kind of effect on a minion that has a faster ability naturally, then we have a better card as far as the heal goes, but not really. These stats are very poor. I'll just say flat out. You've got Stormwind Knight, which is a 4-mana 2/5 charge, which is seeing no play whatsoever. And this is only one more attack on that, but you lose 3 health on the minion. But I will say this, you really can't underestimate charge minions, especially when you play it in a class that has a lot of buff mechanics. And the one thing I want to point out about this card is that if you do buff it, you have to actually, not only do you attack with the card, but if your opponent has to kill it, they trade into it. So you actually get double the heal off the card. So let's say it's a 4-mana 3/2, and you just play it, and you hit your opponent for 3. So you heal for 3, and your opponent has to hit it back with either one of their minions or a weapon or something, and it deals 3 more damage. You just healed for another 3. So you played a 4-mana 3/2, but you restored effectively 6 health at the end of it. Now that's at its base stats. If this card gets effects like Divine Shield, it can last a little longer. If it gets Blessing of Might or Blessing of Kings, it can actually get a more powerful heal effect. Survivability. If you have it behind a taunt minion, it can effectively gain you infinite health, as well as dealing infinite damage, supposedly. So it's an interesting minion. It's just not really powerful by itself. It's mostly going to be used as just like a Hammer of Wrath, which will do virtually the same thing, but without the draw effect. So it'll be interesting to see this card. I would actually like to see this card played in like a buff paladin, like Quest Paladin, which seems to kind of struggle with health management and resource management. Hand buff paladin can use this card. If you put Spikeridge Steed on this card, it's absolutely insane since it has taunt as well as the lifesteal effect. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes, and I'm kind of looking forward to playing around with it. I'm just really excited about any Paladin card, really. Paladin's my favorite class. So we're going to look at the next one that they revealed on the stream, which is Spirit Lash, a 2-mana priest spell, which has the lifesteal effect on it as well. It deals 1 damage to all minions. This card's actually pretty crazy. When you add in the fact that it deals 1 damage to all minions, so it's a whirlwind effect for priest, but it has a lifesteal, so no matter if it's your own minions or your opponent's minions, the number of minions that get hit, it will heal your opponent. It will heal your hero for each damage that it deals. When you combine this effect with spell damage, it's basically double the damage and double the healing. And, the white example is the most of minions you can have on the board is 14. 7 for yourself, 7 for your opponent. If you play this card, you deal 1 damage to everything, and then you heal for 14 health from 2 mana. Which, I'll be realistic, it's not very often I see a board of 14 minions. I think the most I've ever seen a board full is maybe 10 or 11. Because at that point, you start playing a trading game. So you're not going to see an outrageous effect on this card unless you apply something like spell damage to it. Just don't play Akanai Soul Priest on this thing because it doesn't work. Yeah. So if you play a Blood Mage Thalnos, and you play this card, you effectively deal up to 28 damage, and then a 28 health is restored to your hero. So that's really impressive as far as healing and damage goes. A 2 mana Whirlwind for Priest, though. It'll be interesting to see because it is one of the only board clears that Priest will have at that low of a mana cost. It might actually be kind of impactful, especially if they can get it off with a minion that interacts with healing. Let's not forget the fact that Light Warden is still in the game. And that's a 1 mana 1/2 neutral minion that gains 2 attack every time a character is healed. So if you deal 1 damage, you also heal yourself. It'll just be a minion that keeps getting bigger and bigger. So effects like that can also take into effect. So it's really interesting card, and I think that Priests kind of need more early game tools like this to help deal with aggro. 1 damage is very lackluster, but it does help out with the control matchups, particularly against Paladin, particularly against Shaman. We'll just see how it works out from there. And then the last card they revealed on the stream was a legendary Prince Keleseth. It's a 2 mana 2/2, and it has a very interesting battle cry. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. So the implications on this card is a little bit weird because it's built the same way as like Reno Jackson, where if your deck has no duplicates, you restore your hero to full health. A deck having no 2-cost cards is either an aggressive deck that's played out all of its minions, or all of its 2-cost cards, or has no 2-cost control spells. And a control deck that no longer has its early game resources. The problem is a lot of decks that either run mid-range, aggro, or control, a lot of their very powerful cards are actually 2 mana, like Equality, Wild Pyromancer, Execute. You have Primordial Glyph. You have any Hunter Trap. You have just about a lot of the cards that you would normally utilize in a deck like that. So this kind of begs to be put into a deck that doesn't rely on base minion value, but more about a aspect of the game that we haven't really explored very much, which is just overall deck quality. Which you see a lot in Arena, but you don't usually see too much of that in Constructed. Constructed is more of like pulling off the big combos, getting an unfair advantage over your opponent, and then washing them out from the game. So it'll be interesting to see how this will work out. I really don't know what kind of deck I would fit this in outright. It would have to be something with a lot of very weirdly statted 1-drops, or it would have to be a lot of high-cost minions. Because it only works with the cards that are already in your deck, or are still in your deck. So it's not an immediate effect. If you have 2-cost cards in your deck, it's just a 2 mana 2/2, which is very lackluster. So, again, it's one of those cards that we'll just have to wait and see if it's going to fit. I'm not exactly optimistic about it, let's just say that. But that's an initial impression. We've only seen these 5 cards revealed so far, so there's probably going to be more revealed in the near future. However, they did mention that the reveal would probably not be until July 24th. So we'll have to wait until then to see what comes about. And that is it for the review for those cards. Let me know what you think about my opinions on them. Like and subscribe to my videos. I'll be posting one on YouTube very shortly. And we will go into something else here in just a minute, so stick with me. As soon as I get this one thing set up here. Alright, so since we're talking about the game, let's go ahead and look at some of the concepts. I think I have some quests already. 5 games with Shaman or Warlock. I think I can do Shaman. I'm definitely not doing Warlock. This is also the week of the Fire Festival. So I don't have any Shaman decks. And this week they have featured a Tavern Brawl, which features Ragnaros' Fire Festival. I might be playing that again in a little bit, but I do want to get these quests done first. Pretty quick and easy. I'm just going to make a little token Shaman here. Actually, do I have a list already made? It's this interesting little copy and paste feature. And that's that. Okay, so this is a standard ladder list for token Bloodlust Jade Shaman. There are some people that are actually putting out a thing from below and adding in a different low-cost card, but I don't remember what the card was. There is Stone-Till Defender. I was running against one the other day, and he was running both Manatide Totems and a Cult Master or two. I only found out later because I was playing my Priest that he wasn't running Aya. So when my Glimmerroot tried to discover Aya, it did not work. So I was a little dumbfounded. But we could do with that. I'm still low ranked, 7 days into the ladder. I haven't really been playing too much Constructed. But we can fix that.
versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Okie dokie. Don't want to keep a devolve. There's a priest. I've got the pirate already. Let's just go for it.
Looking forward to the fireworks.
So I noticed that my camera moves, my KBS goes down. Can't really help that at this point. It is. I am on my laptop. It is sitting on my lap. Just going to play some ladder.
Is someone injured?
He could hit here and heal himself. Didn't really have much else though.
You wish to live forever?
What? You did that just to take my card draw. One mana, draw a card. Coin, 1 mana, draw a card. Seems a little silly if you ask me. Could devolve this. This goes to a Wisp, this goes to a 2-cost minion. I think I'll trade. Let the white background behind me. That is my wall. I am in my apartment. I actually think I take Curator here. I don't have any beasts or any dragons or any murlocs, but this thing would just get Shadow Word Death every time, and I'll lose a lot of tempo when it does. Faceless, that would only be used after I evolve. I just think it's slow. This is a more proactive play. Next turn I can do this on Evolve and then just play the Curator. I could Holy Nova this turn, but it's not really an optimal one. If she plays a taunt minion, it could be pretty rough. It does seem more like a combo-oriented priest deck with the Talon Priest. It does have a really big buff 1-drop here. Oh, dragon. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 is not enough. So if I totem right here, I can trade them into this minion for... Or I could do 2, 2, and then 1. I think I'll go ahead and do this first. It's not too terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. doesn't actually work, does it? Let's involve. Oh, that's terrible. Oh well. So he can Dragonfire a potion to clear this if he wants. But if he doesn't have it, he's in for a rough time. He's been holding on to a lot of cards the whole game, so he's probably got at least one. Wow, Pine's out. Seems really strange.
Once upon a time.
So I get 4 weapon up, 2. Five, 3, or could I just play Curator?
From shadows strike. Don't rush me.
I wonder if I miss lethal there. Could I have just hit this thing and then... Was that 5 and 3 is 8, 9, 10, 6, 19? No, it would have been lethal. No, he had Dragonfire Potion. Wonder why he never played it.
The menagerie is for guests only.
So if I had the Earth Elemental, I could have played it and the Manatite Totem this turn.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
Mass Dispel.
Do not touch.
All these suck. So I'll just get the big guy. I don't really have much use for this in this match.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
He got Clutch Plate another card. Wow. So he drew both of those. Yeah, so
Tortola, preserve us!
problem is if I devolve these, it could just be something with more attack, and I just can't deal with more attack at the moment. So I'm just trying to stave off what I can. It's really unfortunate that I haven't drawn my other evolve. Everything I play will just die to his board.
Secret agent coming.
It's like you always discover that card with Nether Spite. Well, no.
Get them, boys. Ceiling triple.
No, I can't risk that. If he has another Dragonfire, he just wins. But I wonder if he can see that, because Jiraxis will survive and he can hit me in the face. Holy Nova would probably do it too. Damn. Oh well.
Morgul versus Maiev!
None can escape my fury.
I am going second. Maybe I need Stonehill Defender. I'll use this. Okay, that's alright. Excuse me. I like this Kingdom Hearts t-shirt. It's really cool. Team Heartless. Rather be Team Nominate. She's pretty hot. At least I thought so when I was a teenager. Now she seems like Oh, too young. It's cute. Firefly. Flame Elemental. Don't really think you should have played those there, but okay. Firefly.
Drink with me, friend.
Something I wish I had a weapon for.
Out of my jungle!
White Eyes Earth. I think I'll take Earth Elemental this time.
As you command.
What?
Drink with me, friend.
Swiftly.
That made little sense. Alright, so this way I can guarantee a hit on here. He's already got his quest. Even though he kind of got it a little terribly. Made little sense to me. Congratulations. I guess I might need that weapon charge. Yeah, let's just go for it. So the Wisp kind of makes Vanish a scary little play.
I wonder.
So now I can do this. Now you get at least one fire elemental in your hand. he ever play that second one he got? I don't think he did. It's interesting. He sacked it. Viscerate. Starting to get out of hand. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions, but he can kill off every one of them. Let's just do that.
Ash to ash. This is our time.
Whoa!
Yeah, beat it.
That's something you only see down here in rank 19. I'm gonna have to throw these things away. I've had both of my games so far. I've had both of these in my hand and nothing else. I can't even devolve this board now. It's gotten too big. What's that, like 2, a 3, 2, a 2, a 1? I mean, what is it going to be? It's a bunch of 5 drops with other effects. It's just not been my day. Sorry about the camera, guys. I gotta shift things around a minute.
Morgul versus Thrall.
Could keep a devolve to use against some totems, but just not good enough. Need my early game stuff. If I'm going to be falling behind on a Shaman v Shaman matchup, it's just not going to be pretty. Oh, Quest Murloc Shaman. Makes me wonder if the new hero skins are going to apply to these new heroes. Be interesting to see. A Death Knight Murloc. Like, what about Liadrin or Magni? Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. Good job. You did it! Spell damage totem could mean something like Maelstrom Portal would be a really good counter to my board. If I played the Flame Tongue totem and just went face, it would have been a hard counter to mine. That's interesting.
Out of my jungle.
How many totems have I played? 1, 2. So it costs 3. No. 1. Yeah, I've only played 2 totems, so it costs 4. Dirty Rat, though. Pull out the wrong Murloc, it could be very bad. I don't think I'd Dirty Rat. I wasn't thinking about playing this until later, so position wasn't really that smart. I'm still learning about a lot of the finesse of these decks. That's interesting. Five, huh? So I can roll, or I can... I think I'll Jade Lightning first. Sick that. And then Maelstrom. So now I have this, that, that, that. Too bad. Oh my gosh. I almost got lucky without rolling a totem, because if I got heal totem with this, I would have overdrawn. It's 8. Interesting you decided to kill that one.
Right away.
Just gonna set up for a big bloodlust here. Yay, you did it! Is that an elemental for Hot Spring Guardian? Was that 14, 15, plus 12 is 27, but I still have 4 to deal here.
A festival for the elements. Out of my jungle.
I'll actually take that. I'll keep the board the way it is. It kind of sets up for a lethal this way. Wow. Surprised you can run Hot Spring Guardian in a deck like this. I'm so glad that's not all Murlocs. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's 27. I think that'll do it. Yep. Nice. Little shiny. Alright. So a friend of mine wants to go do some other things, so I'm actually going to end the stream here. So I appreciate everybody for watching, and most likely watching the replay, since I actually don't have very many people online right now. So, but yeah, I appreciate it, everybody. I am going to start streaming some more, hopefully in the near future. Just need to get my name out there. Yeah, low rank doesn't really help too much, but if I start playing a lot more often, which I should start doing, then it'll probably get better and easier. And I'll be coming out with more content soon, so I hope everybody enjoyed the stream, and we will resume again. Thanks for watching.